Well, in this exhibition, there's one oil from this geometric period of your work, the mid-30s. Did you paint many others during the period prior to 1940, or did you work mostly in collage?
Oh, no, I always painted.
You always painted?
Yes, yes. And collage is always secondary in the amount of time spent and so forth. It was important, very important. I mean, I did a lot of my development through the collage, but I didn't look upon them at that time as things of special or permanent interest in themselves. Now they are.
Well, so then the studio fire in 1940 or 41 or 42, I can't remember the exact date, destroyed then most of the paintings.
That's true.
Was everything destroyed, or just a few?
No, well, that's the point. You see, the collages are flat things. There'd be a stack of them pressed down, and the water and stuff would ruin the ones on the outside, but the ones inside, most of them, wouldn't be damaged.
But all the paintings were gone?
Yes, that were in the studio.
That were in the studio.
I had a few that were in an apartment nearby or out on loan or something.
Well, do you think this fire had any effect on your work, as far as the future work that would come out?
I don't think it did very much.
It didn't affect
no.
your thoughts at
I do
all?
know artists who were affected enormously by the fire. They wanted to quit, or they started now painting their earlier work that was destroyed from memory. It's like a very bad thing to do, to imitate yourself. Wow. Of course, I've been partial to fireproof studios since then.
You painted a number of oils in 1971 based on collages or oils of the 1930s.
Yeah.
Were these more recent works intended to replace actual paintings lost in the fire, or were they meant to interpret in some manner the collages that you were doing during this period?
Well, as you say, in each case I had the collage to go by, from which the original paintings had been made. And I guess my idea was to more or less reconstruct them, do them again like they were, but in the process of doing it, I found if I did something didn't like something, I would change it. And I think in the end they probably turned out in some ways better than the original ones. You know, because cleaned them up a little bit.
What was the purpose for the figurative work that you occasionally did during the 1930s period of non-objective abstract painting?
Well, during most of that, as you say, very non-objective period, I still did some things from figures. Not thinking necessarily I would turn that way in my painting at the start. Maybe I did it just for relief from all that geometry, I don't know. It's hard to recast how I felt and thought.
1940, would you say that any artist had any kind of profound influence on what you were doing?
Up to 1940?
Up to 1940.
Well, the artist I admired most probably was Mondrian. And I imagine he had some influence on me.
Yes, I see that in the 1935 oil in this show.
Felt as the greatest painter of our century. And my wife at the same time, she was affected more by the constructivists, the Russians. And I was, I think there was. They were very geometric, you know, like some differences. I always had a narrow strip at the bottom usually, which he didn't do, you know.